You know that weird feeling when you're talking to your girlfriend and something just feels off? Like she's saying the right words, smiling the right way, but deep down, your gut is telling you something's not right. Maybe it's how she's acting, or how her voice sounds, or maybe it's the way she keeps looking everywhere except at you. That feeling isn't random. Your brain notices patterns, and when something breaks that pattern, it tries to warn you. And most of the time, the warning shows up right there, in her eyes. This isn't about turning into some paranoid guy who thinks every girl is lying. It's not about freaking out every time she looks away or changes the topic. It's about understanding the signs, the real ones, and knowing how to read the truth when the words don't match the energy. Because when someone lies, they don't always get loud. They get subtle. And the eyes, they don't lie. That's why if you're in a relationship and you feel like something's off, learning how to read her eyes can tell you way more than what she's saying out loud. Let's be real. Most of us don't want to believe someone we care about could lie to us. But lying doesn't always come from hate. Sometimes it comes from guilt, fear, or not wanting to hurt you. But that still doesn't make it okay. If she's not being honest, you deserve to know. And once you know what to look for, the signs get clearer and harder to ignore. Today we're breaking down the 7 signs she's lying. And they all start with what's happening in her eyes. Pay attention, because these are the moments that show you what's really going on, even if she doesn't say it out loud. So let's get into it and break down the first few signs you should never ignore if you feel like she's hiding something. Her eyes might be telling you everything, even when her mouth says nothing's wrong. Watch closely. The first sign is when she suddenly avoids eye contact. Now, some people are naturally shy, and not everyone likes direct eye contact all the time. But in a relationship, if your girlfriend usually looks you in the eye and suddenly stops doing that when something serious comes up, that's not just nerves. It's a red flag, especially if it only happens when you ask her about something that makes her uncomfortable. Her brain is trying to protect her from the guilt she feels, so she looks away. Maybe it's her phone, her drink, the floor, anything but you. And that sudden shift is something you shouldn't ignore. Second sign, she stares at you too hard, like intense eye contact that feels like she's trying to win a staring contest. This might sound like the opposite of lying, but it's not. Sometimes people overcompensate when they lie. They think if they look too confident, you'll believe them, but it's forced. Normal conversations don't feel like performances. If she's suddenly watching your face closely after saying something sketchy, it might be because she's checking if you believe her lie. Third sign, rapid blinking. This is the one most people miss. Lying makes people nervous, and when the body gets nervous, it reacts. Fast blinking usually means stress. If she's blinking way more than usual while explaining where she was or why she didn't answer your text, that could mean her words are smooth, but her body's panicking. Always trust the signals you can see over the ones you're being told. If her pupils change size while she talks, your relationship might be in danger. Here's why. Fourth sign. Her pupils are acting weird. This one's crazy because you can't control your pupils on purpose. It's something your body does automatically. When we feel stress or fear, our pupils either shrink or dilate depending on the emotion. If her eyes suddenly get wide while answering a question, that's not just surprise, and it could be emotional stress. And if they shrink fast right after, that might be her trying to hold something in. These are signs her body is reacting to something she's not saying out loud. Fifth sign, she blinks right before answering you. It might not sound like a big deal, but when someone's asked a question and they pause, blink, then answer, that blink is doing more than you think. It's like her brain is hitting the reset button. She might be taking that tiny moment to come up with a story instead of just telling the truth. It's especially obvious when her words sound rehearsed or her tone changes right after the blink. Sixth sign, her eyes shift directions before she speaks. A lot of people say if someone looks to the left, they're lying, but that's not always true for everyone. What matters more is whether it's her normal behavior. If she usually looks down when thinking and suddenly looks up and to the side when you bring up a certain topic, that change matters. Looking to the side can mean she's trying to imagine something, not remember it. And when someone imagines an answer instead of remembering one, that's a big clue. Seventh sign, she blinks less than usual or not at all. When someone lies, they're focusing super hard on keeping their story straight. They're trying not to mess up a single word. And that intense concentration, it can freeze their body. You'll notice her eyes go wide, barely blinking like she's locked in. It might seem like confidence, but it's actually tension. She's trying so hard to be believed that she forgets to act natural. Her body's in defense mode, not relaxed, not open, just locked down. And here's where things get real. It's not just one sign that gives it away, it's when they start stacking. Maybe she avoids your eyes, then stares too long, then blinks fast, and throws in a weird smirk after a strange answer. When all these signals show up in the same conversation, that's not random. That's her body reacting to a truth she's not telling. And even if she denies it, your gut is picking up on the disconnect. You know what's even worse than hearing a lie, pretending you didn't catch it? A lot of people do that. They love someone so much they'd rather ignore the signs than face the truth. But that doesn't fix anything, it just delays the hurt. And honestly, it makes the pain even worse when it finally hits. Because deep down, you knew. And now you feel like you lied to yourself too. Let's say your girlfriend starts acting weird when you ask her about a guy she used to talk to. Her tone gets soft, she breaks eye contact, then tries too hard to laugh it off. Her eyes go still. Her answers come too perfectly. You notice it all. But if you brush it off just because you don't want to argue, what are you really doing? You're letting lies grow. And once lies start growing in a relationship, trust dies fast. This isn't about playing detective or trying to catch your girlfriend in every little slip-up. It's about knowing what honesty feels like and what it looks like when it's missing. In a real relationship, you shouldn't have to overthink everything she says. You shouldn't be studying her face like it's a crime scene. Love should feel peaceful, not suspicious. But when you do feel suspicious, when your gut is screaming and her eyes are sending signals, don't gaslight yourself into ignoring it. Because here's what happens when you stay in a relationship built on lies. You start to lose trust, not just in her, but in yourself. You question your own instincts. You second guess every emotion. And that kind of self-doubt doesn't just ruin relationships, it sticks with you. Even when it's over, it follows you into the next one. So if you notice the signs, if her eyes are doing all the things we talked about, don't go crazy. Don't accuse her out of nowhere. But talk to her. Ask the questions that are keeping you up at night. And if she can't meet your eyes when she answers, that silence speaks louder than any words. You don't need a full confession to walk away. You just need to trust what you saw. The eyes are powerful, they don't lie. Even when someone wants to fake everything else, their body can't fake the fear, the guilt, or the pressure. If you want to know the truth, look there first. And remember this, when someone truly loves you, they don't just tell the truth with words. They show it with presence, energy, and eye contact that makes you feel safe, not suspicious. Never forget that.